So one of the reasons why I love Garry's mod is it makes it really easy to pretty much do anything I want to do in a sandbox game. For instance, if I want to summon a prop, I go to props, and then I summon the prop in. If I want to pick up the prop, I pick up the physics manipulator, also known as the physics gun, and I can move it, rotate it, zoom it in and out, and even throw it. If I want to fight NPCs, I can just go into the NPCs tab, and everything is right here neatly organized. It's pretty simple, but what if we could make your life in Garry's mod even easier than it ever was before? That's right, I've compiled together 3 mods that will make your game and experience easier in Garry's mod. So let's go into the first one, and that's going to be the one you probably already saw, the favorites tab. Have you ever thought, you know what, I really like this NPC a lot, and I would love to add this to my favorites? Well, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is simply go to the thing you want to favorite and then press the E key. You'll hear a little click, which pretty much tells you that you're good to go. Go into favorites and you'll see right down here under NPCs, we now have our favorite Combine Elite. And you might think that this is limited to just NPCs, but of course no, it's pretty much to anything. So for instance, I like using the Sexiness gun, also known as the admin gun. I can press E on that. I also use the long revolver a lot. Gonna go ahead and put that. And out of all these weapons, the G3 is my favorite gun, so I'm going to add that. And of course, we don't have to stop there. We can even go all the way into props. So, for instance, I like using the explosive barrel a lot for explosives. Gonna go ahead and press E on that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I do sled build, I love to use this clock. This thing wins every race every time. I just put a chair on it and I'm good to go. For any of you out there that remember sled build, you're the real OG. And of course, we cannot forget entities. So I don't know about you guys, but I also forget to fill my suit. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. And we're gonna also throw some health in there as well. Alright, so now that we have quite a few things favorited, let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Ugh, what's he doing in here? Let's go ahead and take a look at exactly what we've done. So first things first, we have weapons. We can also choose to save our current weapon, but you can also see the weapons that we chose. And then obviously clicking that is going to let us pick that weapon or prop or NPC or even entity. Now, if you're not a fan of having just one folder for everything, you can even make your own category, for instance. Haha! And we can go ahead and add that category. And now that we've done that, we can see things I hate. And then you can obviously put things that you absolutely despise, probably the worst thing ever imaginable. Perfect. And there we go. All in all, this is going to be a very handy feature for many, and me included, so let me know what you guys think. Alright, next up we have the Navmesh Organizer. If you guys have ever played on a map with next bots, you're going to need a proper nav mesh to have that next bot work properly. And as you can see on this map, we have a very good nav mesh. In fact, I'd say this is pretty solid, but at the same time, I have no freaking clue what a good nav mesh looks like. But judging by how neatly some of these really do fit into these spaces, it's pretty nice. But you're gonna notice something. There's a lot of extra data points here. See all these little rectangles here? What if we could make this even more efficient? And that's what this mod aims to do. It is going to pretty much use less data points, but create a more efficient map. And according to the workshop page, it can apparently reduce the area the Navmesh takes up by up to 50%. What does this mean? This pretty much means that you're going to have a less laggy experience with next bots. So let's go ahead and see if it works. I'm going to analyze a few areas. For instance, like right here, there's a lot of points here. So I'm going to come back and check that out. But then again, there might need to be a lot of points here for next bots to work properly along this curve. Again, I'm pretty novice at this. I'm a freaking noob. And thankfully, this is a very, very simple mod. All you gotta do is go into the console here and then type this in. Navmesh _ global merge _ auto. Press enter. Oh, Alright, let's try that again. Here we go. Alright, and we can see the magic is now happening. So pretty much what's... Oh, alright, so we've gone from 11,831 points to 8,669. That's a pretty nice reduction. Also, once that happens, the Navmesh will have to be analyzed, and this is the dreadful part. And as you guys can tell, this is gonna take a while. Alright, but then once the process is done, your game will restart like normal, and then you will be loaded back into the map with the optimized Navmesh. Alright, and here we are. So that did take a while, but guys, do keep in mind that this is a pretty big map. I mean, look at all this area that is all navigation meshed. Let's go ahead and take a look at over here and see what it did. So I think it actually did get rid of some of those blocks. And the thing I really like the most about this is that you don't really have to guess. It tells you exactly what it took the number down to. You guys saw it was like 11,000 or something like that, and then it lowered it down to like 8,000. So it shows you the reduction, which is pretty cool. And judging by the area, I don't really see any like missing spots or anything. So I gotta say, job well done. Alright, so what if you're on a map that does not have a nav mesh? For instance, we can see we have nav edit open here, but there is not a nav mesh anywhere. Obviously, you can just naturally type in nav underscore and then generate. That will generate a nav mesh, but that can take a while. And not only that, but your nav mesh might come out, well, junk. So instead, we can type this in. This is also part of the same mod, by the way. When you do this, it's going to spawn the nav mesh at every spawn point location to create a more full nav mesh. Pretty much, you're not going to have the gaps that you might get with the usual nav generate. So let's see if it does work. Okay, god damn it. And there we go. So it looks like the standard nav generate. This again might take a while depending on the size of the map. So it's hard to say if this is going to take any longer than the usual generate because again, it is going to make it at every apparent spawn point. Okay, that was not that much at all, but then again, this map is pretty small. Let's see how well the nav mesh came out. Alright, here we are, and now you can see there is definitely a nav mesh all over the place. This is just so cool. I don't know why I've never opened this up before, but there is a few... I mean, I don't know if you can really fix that considering, well, it's on rough terrain. But I'd say this went pretty well. There's even one up here for some reason. It's all over the place, really, and it looks great. So before even doing this, you couldn't spawn in next bots. Like, they wouldn't work properly. But now we can go into NPCs. We could summon, like, oh, I don't know, the Incredible Hulk. And he's going to work perfectly. We just gotta obviously let him do his thing. And there you go. He's just gonna go do his, well, hulky thing. Alright, apparently he does not like doorways that are too small. But, there is a few more commands, but I think we're going to end it right here. What an awesome mod, and definitely one I'll be using to make sure that I get the nav meshes down perfectly. But I guess I should mention, you can also type this in, and it's going to generate a cheap, dirty nav mesh that won't be as refined as this one is, but if you just want to quickly get a nice, easy, not very big nav mesh just to test something out, or to have something work, it could be good enough. And to wrap this video up, we're back on Construct, and now we're going to take a look at the simple timer. This is going to be a mod that lets you set a timer for whatever it is you want to set a timer for. Now obviously just pressing E on it isn't really going to do much, but if you right click and go into edit properties, we can adjust a bunch of things. One, we can change the timer color. If that's something that you want to do, we're going to go with red because screw it. We can also change the time. So if you want, you know, like a bajillion seconds, you can totally do that. We're going to go with just, let's do 68. You can also turn off the sound and the text and the HUD. And here's the exciting part. You can adjust the event that, well, happens when you start the event and when you stop. For instance, when I start it, I'm going to enable AI, but when the event stops, it's going to actually just kill everyone. And then at the end of the event, we're going to disable the AI. And then you can even choose a mission. For instance, like a player has died, or if a player has entered a vehicle, and then we can even make it to where it ends and what happens after that. So I'll make it to where I enter a vehicle. And then we'll say that the event is to kill all NPCs and next bots. Okay, that's a lot of stuff going on. Let's go ahead and press E. And now we can see the timer is red. We're going to go ahead and I don't even know where to start. I guess we'll spawn that vehicle. And we're also going to spawn some NPCs to see if it does work. I'll make sure that they are enabled. All right, I don't want to spawn a zombie in. Okay, here we go. And it killed us, all right. So it's pretty cool to think that just editing those simple things can change so much. So obviously we can see that when the event stopped, it killed everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and make it to where it only kills NPCs. All right, so I forgot about this. We have aftermath. So after the mission, we can make it to where it stops the timer or continues. And then we also have some after timer options as well. We're gonna leave those where they are though. We're gonna restart this. I kind of want to see once again. Now, this isn't obviously something you'd want to do. I'm just kind of showing off that these things are possible. So when we go into this vehicle, it should stop the timer and these NPCs should be dead. And that is exactly what happened. By some freakish force of nature, they just flew into the water. I don't even know why they went this way. But now we can see that it does work. And that pretty much is, well, a mission. And of course, guys, this does work with wire mods. So, I mean, I can't even imagine the things you could do with this. But it's pretty exciting to me to think what could happen. Wait, hold up. What if we... I'm not going to turn this to a will it survive, but I do want to know. Can Hulk survive this? Alright guys, don't underestimate the power of a clock. By the way, the reason why the timer is still going is I made it to where after the mission ends, it resets the timer, so it doesn't really end. Which means you can just spawn a bunch of Hulks, and then they die, and you can just keep doing this as many times as you want. And that's pretty much it, guys. So let me know which one of these mods was your favorite, and even suggest something if you want in the comments or my Discord page down in the description on what you want to see in the next video. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this until the end. Links will be in the description. Leave a like and subscribe if you do want. And until next time, thanks for watching and farewell.